Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's just another Wednesday here at the Inner Circle Podcast. Hey, we are here live on and popping. Don't adjust your screens. You're not seeing crazy. It's your boy Charlie with my special co-host for the day. She is the first Barbie. She is hella funny. She has become one of our favorite guests on this podcast. No lie. My special guest was, and I'm so excited for this, Byronique Barbie. What's up?
Ah,
What's up? What's up? What's up?
thank you
What?
for that
Wait, wait,
beautiful
wait, wait.
intro.
You shouldn't have. They love me. We love you. How are you, beautiful? How's it going? I'm so
am
happy to have
great.
you.
With an intro like that, how can I not be just amazing, fabulous? Thank you so much. That was beautiful. You
How
know
you?
how to make a girl smile.
That's what all the girls say. Then they get disappointed once they find out.
right.
Yeah. How you been?
I've been good. I've been out here surviving with this heat wave and all this bullshit going on.
You guys are still going through a heat wave, and it's funny that we are finally starting to feel a little bit of that fall breeze and like fall is here.
Nice.
But you
That
guys are,
relief.
yeah. But you guys are still burning up.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. This week it's lower. This week it has kind of like stabilized. I will say it's still a little stuffy, a little tense, a little sweaty, but nothing like last week. Nothing like last week. Last week we was having like Vegas and Florida weather combined. You understand what I'm saying? It was wild.
Mm-mm.
It
I know
was,
that.
yeah.
I know the Vegas. You know what? I could take Vegas weather though, because it's dry. But when you say Vegas and Florida weather combined,
Florida.
no. That's some New Orleans weather right there.
Right. We had not experienced nothing like that to where it was super hot, like in the hundreds in LA. And then it started to rain Friday and the wind was blowing like a tornado was going to pick up a house. You feel me? In the Wizard of Oz or something. It was crazy.
Oh nah.
It was crazy. We was like, oh, that's earthquake weather. And I'm like, shit, y'all don't say that. Shit, I ain't got no earthquake insurance.
Not only that, but hopefully, because LA, California, period, has been known for wildfires the last few years. So hopefully, for you guys, nothing crazy like that too with this heat and crazy.
We did have a few. There were a few up in the hills. Yeah, I did see it, but it might have been. I heard on the news that one person died. One person didn't make it out because they was trying to stay and like fight it. Because some people are crazy about their homes and they want to try to stay. But I mean, what do you expect when you buy a house up in them hills? You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like that's God, like the Lord trying to say, "Oh, you think you too bougie? You want to live secluded up in the hills with the bears and the lions and the tigers and all that?" You know what I mean?
Listen, the weekend I spoke about the hills. Speaking of the weekend, listen, you had me entertained. You had me entertained while I was on vacation. You had me entertained. I don't want to say entertained because of your what you were going through, but
because I was going through it.
You were going.
I was going through it. I was going through it.
So the weekend
over it.
The weekend canceled his concert show in LA. What was up with that? Tell us about it.
When I tell y'all, I don't even understand. I just really think if you really know Abel and listen to his music, you know he hates LA. Like he even has a song called Escape LA. So I really, honest to God, feels like he just didn't want to fucking do the show that night. He had just did a show at the same stadium the night before, and this was going to be his second LA date. And I was at the show the night before. I was actually working it. You feel me? Because sometimes I do security work. And so he did fine that night. The show was lit. It was amazing. I was so excited to come back the next night and see it. And he sung 3 songs. On the 3rd song, my nigga literally said, "Stop the music. I can't go on. Like, I'm gonna make sure all y'all get your money back." And the fucked up thing about it, he told us that he lost his voice when he did the 1st song. He could feel his voice had been lost. How is your voice lost and you talking to us, telling us you gonna make sure we get our money back? First and foremost, sir, Abel, don't play with me like this, Abel. How could you do this? You know how many people was kicking over trash cans. Like he lucky he doesn't really have like a black audience like that was at the show in LA, because it would have been a whole ass riot. You understand what I'm saying? It would have been a whole ass riot. Or something. Yeah. Oh, it would have been a mess. It would have been a mess. And what's fucked up, he would have never done nothing like that in his hometown of Toronto. He would have pushed through the fucking show. You know what I mean? Because he didn't even, it would have been different if we would have heard in his voice in them first 3 songs, like he's cracking, or you know what I mean? Or when he got on the mic to talk, like, you know, it was none of that. He sounded perfectly fine, just like Abel. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? He did a move like, you know, when we call off work when we really ain't sick, but we just not feeling it. That's what the fuck Abel did to us, okay? He was not feeling it, and he said, I came out and tried. First off, the ticket said be there at 6:30. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? 6:30. Abel did not go on that stage until 9:30 p.m.
I never saw what the ticket says at what time.
Right. Oh, I didn't either. Yeah, I didn't either. But I've never seen somebody put that early of a time on his ticket. You would have thought he's gonna have an opener. And y'all know Doja Cat was supposed to be on tour with him, but she had a whole throat tonsil issue, so she had to pull out. And all he had was a DJ come on for maybe like an hour, and the DJ was whack. Like, so you made us sit there and wait. You made us sit there and wait that long. I don't know if something was going on backstage where he was maybe trying to tell people like, I'm not feeling it tonight, but they was like, look, motherfucker, we didn't set up all this shit. Because when I tell you his set was very elaborate, so I know, videos, it was very elaborate. So I know it took them a lot of work and a lot of hours to put that together, and they probably just tried to push him and say, you need to go do it. And he went out there and did 3 songs, honey. All we got was 3 songs. Luckily, the last song was one of my main songs I wanted to hear.
Well, at least you got that. At least you got. Listen, the same thing happened. Actually, funny thing, the same thing happened with me a few years ago in New York. I went to see Jennifer Lopez for the first time in Madison Square Garden, and some blackout happened from Midtown Manhattan to another. Some blackout happened. This was.
I remember that. I remember hearing that. I remember hearing about that.
We thought it was a shooting. At first, everyone was talking about there was a shooting inside Madison Square Garden. No, we leave Madison Square Garden. It was a blackout from one point to, like, from Midtown to somewhere. Because I remember, because I had to go, I lived all the way, I lived in the Heights. So I remember, like, getting to the Heights was a bitch. But yeah, she literally sang, like 2 or 3 songs the same thing. That was my first time seeing J-Lo in concert.
Oh, that's fucked up. And but a place like that, a big stadium, what was it, Yankee Stadium?
No, Madison Square Garden.
Oh, Madison. They don't have like backup generators at a place like that?
Con Ed wasn't helping that day. but speaking of singers and stuff, I also see that you were watching Pinocchio that just came out, and you were talking about live action. Now, we also know that the live action trailer for The Little Mermaid got released, and where many people are excited, and I just loved seeing the reels of all the kids, colored kids, like shocked, like really just looking at the videos. We've also unfortunately seen a lot of fucked up shit. Yes, I said, like, crazy memes, racist memes. I don't know if you've seen it. What's your take with this controversy? And literally, I'm at the gym today, this morning, working out, and there was literally a segment in the NBC News about this controversy of Haley. I want to call her Barry. It sounds like Barry, but it's Bailey. Chloe's sister.
Now wait a minute, both of them, because it's 2 sisters, right? And they're both singers. They're both singers. Okay. Where did they get that? Was they on the Disney Channel by any chance?
No, all I know is that Beyonce has been a big push and support of them. They're in her label, something like that. So that's So basically,
that's why they got so big.
Yeah, Haley. There's a lot of controversy, even on the news, about that we casted a colored Little Mermaid. What's your take on this? Because I know you have a lot to say, so that's why I'm like, I gotta ask my girl.
Yes. You know what? And I might not say what you expect me to say, because last night even watching Pinocchio, me and my brother had the conversation, like, they're pushing because they're trying so hard to correct the wrongs that they did all those years ago in our childhood.
The Black Fairy, right?
Movies. Right. The Black Fairy, and also incorporated another black character, like walking through with the kids, walking the kids to school. They want to like incorporate more black people. And it's like, it kind of, in a sense, almost takes me out of the world of Pinocchio, because we know back then in them times, it would not have been no black woman walking them little kids to school. So in a sense, it's like, I can appreciate y'all trying to right y'all wrongs, but at the same time, keep it real and keep it true to what it was back when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, with the Haley situation, I think it's a beautiful thing.
Correction, it's Halle Bailey, but it sounds like Halle Berry. So I confuse it. But the parents must have been Halle Berry fans, because Halle Bailey is her name.
So Miss Bailey, I could say Bailey. Okay, Miss Bailey. I think that's a beautiful thing that Disney put, a black girl into the role to play a black woman in the role of Little Mermaid. I even heard Queen Latifah was going to play Ursula. I don't know how true that is. Maybe that was in the musical.
Ursula in the musical, yeah.
In the musical, okay.
Aired on Fox or something like that, yeah.
Okay. Well, I do think that's a beautiful, beautiful thing that they're doing that. But again, in a sense, it kind of takes you out of it if you were a real Little Mermaid fan or whatever the case may be, and that was your childhood thing. Same thing with me and my brother watching Pinocchio, feeling like, oh, this kind of like takes us out of the world. You know what I mean? Like, in a sense, I get that they're trying to right their wrongs and correct it. You know what I mean? It's a new age. It's a new day and age. But at the same time, I even had a problem with, like, low key, by Zendaya playing. She wasn't Mary Jane, but she was, in the new Spider-Man movie. Yeah. It kind of like even took me out of it, because they get in our brains from early on, like, oh, this is what Mary Jane should look like. She should be a white girl, red hair. You know what I mean? And so that's what we get programmed to seeing. You know what I mean? So it just takes everybody an adjustment. But at the end of the day, it's a good fucking move. You get what I'm saying? Because they need to reprogram everybody's thought process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But listen, I can't wait. I will definitely be going to see The Little Mermaid in May 2022. Actually, no, I'm gonna go and see it because Disney Plus released Pinocchio straight to Disney Plus.
Right.
Disney Plus. Since day one, I've had Disney Plus, but we know they want to cash in that cow, so they're gonna release The Little Mermaid to the theaters. So I'll be watching it in theaters because I'm not gonna wait like 3 months to Disney Plus releases it. But let's get into you're not our only special, you're my special guest co-host, but we have a special guest star about to join us right now that I'm really excited about. He is a singer and MTV personality. He was just most recently on X on the Beach season 5. He is here to talk so much stuff with us. I'm excited to have him on. Let's welcome to the show, Joelle Bryan. Welcome to the show. Hey. How's it going, man? Welcome to the Inner Circle podcast.
Thank you. I'm so mad that y'all brought me in later because I wanted to be a part of all these topics. I wanted to talk about The Little Mermaid.
Go ahead. I mean, let's get it started. What is your take on it, real quick? Give us your thoughts.
First of all, I was almost in tears watching it because I love The Little Mermaid, and just seeing it like live action was like. And every time I watch the trailer, I'm like, I just know I'm gonna be sobbing during the whole movie. I told my friend, I'm like, we just go cry. But no, I love it. And in terms of like the casting and all that stuff, I was commenting on Instagram how can we curse on here? Can we curse?
Yeah.
She's a fucking cartoon with red fucking hair. Who the fuck knows what the fuck she is, and who cares? You know what I mean? But like to try and like taint that. Her moment and that casting is just so rude and horrible, but it is what it is. So
Hollywood, baby. Hollywood weird. But speaking of, I mean, you both are from California. Joelle, you're a singer. You've been on the most recent X on the Beach season, which we will get into. But let's get to know Joelle. You are Puerto Rican. You're a dog daddy. I see your son. Back there. Is it a boy? Son?
Boy.
We both have sons.
It's from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, could you see? I got a gift. You got a Stitch. Look at this.
Yeah, he will be joining us. Wait. Oh, you won't leave? You won't leave me? okay, he's gonna be here.
But let's talk your music. You're a singer, and I've heard all your songs actually. And guys, definitely check him out. I'm sure he'll tell you where to check him out throughout the show. But
Yeah.
when did your passion for music start? Like, has this been something since you were a kid? Has it been, recently? When did that start?
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up in the church and I would always be a part of like, singing in the church. And I didn't really know that I could do it by myself until I started getting like booked for like weddings and like, they had like the pastor's day and they had me like doing my own little thing up there. So, like I've always kind of like performed. And my dad, going back to my story, when I started thinking about it, I was like, wow, my dad really had a big influence in me and music because he used to play music, all the time. And it was different genres and different artists and it was all across the board. And I think that that's really where I'd like develop my love for all kinds of music. And, I've done stuff here and there, but it wasn't really until I moved out here 5 years ago just to rebrand and to regroup really like just my life. I walked into LA, which is like a mecca of the industry and music and, all that stuff. So I started, meeting people and networking. And then during COVID, I really had like a breaking point with a relationship. And I was like, I need to get this out. And, music has always been something that I've been interested in. So I did it. And I released my first song, Rather Be Lonely. And then I released an EP. And then I released a single. And then I did remixes. And, just kind of getting my feet wet and putting myself out there and networking and building a team and getting to know how to, start something from beginning to end and just perfecting it every time I release something new. And so that led to like, I've been able to do songwriting and write for artists and, just collaborate with people and just experience kind of like the culture that is the industry.
Nice. And I mean, you've done songwriting for artists. That's amazing. What have been your musical influences like growing up? Like, what were some of your musical influences that?
JoJo is always my number one. Like, I am not only a fan of her like songs, but also her style, her songwriting. She's always been kind of like the underdog. She had a lot of issues in her, early ages and was really able to overcome those. And so I love artists like as a whole, great songs are great songs, but like, I like artist story and just all of that. So JoJo has always been a really big...
I met her years ago. In Braintree. I was working. Let's talk.
Where?
Braintree, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Which is a little outside of Boston. She's from Mass.
She's from Mass, yeah.
Yeah, and I was a co-manager at the Forever 21 years ago, a decade ago. I was a co-manager at the Forever 21. She was just shopping, just regular shopping, and I happened to be behind the cash wrap too. And I wasn't the cashier, but I hung around with the cash. I'm like, and then I'm like hanging around with the cashiers. I'm like hanging around in the cash wrap just to get a that's JoJo right there, right? Like yeah. So that's my joy. It's funny. I seen that you like JoJo, but I didn't know how much. But yeah, I met her years ago. That's awesome.
And I'm sure she was nice, right? Because she's always been
She was nice. She was cool. She was just a regular girl. And she has my mom's name, Joanne.
Joanna, yeah.
So JoJo, any so she's been your musical. If any other artists too, like for your songwriting, like where do you tap in to like dig in there, like and put that out there? Not only maybe to share with like an artist, but for yourself.
I mean, I've always been the type to be super transparent, super outspoken. I gain passion from my life experiences, and I have no shame. I have no shame in my story. So, I can't to date, I don't think I can sing about, I don't know, like stuff that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I have to sing about stuff that matters to me and that I've gone through. So, it's weird because, you usually write those songs in a very private environment, whether it's with somebody else or by yourself. And then, when you put them out, they kind of like are up for discussion and are up for, how people understand it. And, it works because, right, you do it in private and then you release it and it's kind of out and you don't have to, it's not like, I don't know, you're not sitting in it anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just like you release it and it's out.
So we're going to get into real quick to break the ice and get to know you a little better. We're going to do a quick game of this or that. It's one of Melanie's favorite games. Melanie's not here. We're sending Melanie our love. So it's one of her favorite games. So she set it up. She's She's not here today, but she set it up for you, Joelle.
Okay.
So here it goes. You ready? This or that? Adventure or comfort?
Comfort.
City or beach?
I'll take the beach.
Sandals or sneakers?
Sneakers. Ooh, I don't like sandals.
Oh.
I think it's the weirdest thing when like guys are out in like flip flops, just their feet all over.
Really? Oh, we can have a conversation about that after. Converse or Adidas?
Converse.
Movie marathon or color run?
Movie marathon.
Short vacay or jungle tracking?
Jungle. Short vacay. I'll do jungle.
Single or partner? Taken, I guess. Single.
My single are taken. I'm single right now.
Roller coasters or Ferris wheel?
Roller coasters.
Dine in or takeaway? Take out. Take out.
I'll
It says
do
take away,
both.
take out.
Depends what mood I'm in.
Cooking or house cleaning?
Cooking.
Take a walk or driving?
I like to drive. I don't have patience at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you mean you don't have patience? That LA traffic I hear about. How do you both have patience for that?
I know,
Yeah.
but if you're gonna take the bus, it's like or walk. It's 20.
Way worse. Way worse on the bus.
Hipster cafe or restaurant?
A restaurant.
Boxers or briefs?
Briefs. I need it tight. I need it right. I need it lifted. You know?
And we'll end it right there. Nice. Well, let's go back to your music though. In 2020, you released your EP, your first EP.
Yeah.
Now recently you just released your newest single, Up.
Yeah.
What has been the evolution? Like, I know it hasn't been like that many years, but what, like, from your first song to now, what's the evolution for you? What's been the difference?
The evolution. Well, when I first started, I was really green. I was really safe with, I would say, like my lyric choices and with my style. Now I'm so much more free and experimental. So that last song has kind of like reggae, like Caribbean vibes to it. And that was definitely something that I wouldn't have tried to experiment with in the future. I mean, in the past when I first started. But now I'm all about just like, singles and making them all different. I want the next one to be different and the next one to be different and just experiment with different sounds and stuff. And I don't think that I had that kind of like just freedom, or I was a little bit more timid. Now I'm a little bit more free and open.
Nowadays, it's funny how you said singles and releases singles. And if you have things, swoop in. I don't want. I'm taking all the questions. We have a speed round day, and you're like, he's taking all the questions.
Right.
No, but so let me know if you want to swoop in there.
I got the next one.
I'm gonna wait on it.
And now I so making the music and stuff. You sung about a lot of relationship
Thanks.
issues.
Sorry.
Or not issues, but relationship stuff. And you're saying like singles. Back then, it was about putting out albums. Back in the day. Now a lot of people are doing just that, singles or EPs. How do you think, especially for artists now, like coming up, the music industry has changed where it makes it easier to like just release singles like that and not the pressure of a whole album? Or do you think you also want to go that route and release a whole album?
I would only release an album if I was like funded by a label. Releasing music is expensive and it takes time and it's risky as an investment. So, singles really allow you to be able to focus on like quality and focus on giving that, the time, the affection that it needs to be great. You know what I mean? Albums are great, but like I said, it just costs money. So, and with singles, you can, experiment more and kind of, I don't know, give it more time. But I also feel like the industry is changing with like the length of songs. They're like, limiting
2 minutes and 20 seconds
runtime. Yeah, because the truth is now with streaming, you just want to get another stream. And if you can, have a catchy hook and just put it out once or twice and people want more of it, they can replay it. That's another, the way to make money. So everything's changing. And I think singles and songs and short songs are more popular now.
And you know what? I have to give you your flowers too, because you said something where you could put the quality and the time into singles. And I have to say, like, please, guys, and I'm gonna say it as the show goes on, even when they like check out his music because it is good quality. You know, there are artists and people out there, and not to shit on anyone trying to, you know, go for what they, you know, what's their passion. You know, I don't like to shit on people like that, but you know, there are some people out there who put out stuff and the quality is not that great, unfortunately. Yeah,
Right.
so the quality's not that great and stuff, but your stuff, like it's quality. Like you've
It's
been there,
bad.
like
It's
you're with the
bad.
yeah, you're with the
That's
people.
how
Like it's
amazing it is.
music that's out there and stuff. And we're gonna get into that little snippet that like kind of made me a little woo, made me a little wet, like that Spanish.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he has something cooking up. We'll get into that a little later. But he said that Spanish little beat that I heard that snippet you put up. I was like, ooh, man, yes, yes, yes.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean,
Yesterday.
huh? You put
You
it up
talking about the one
today.
on Instagram?
Yeah. The little snippet you put up, I was like, you know, you can't hear much, but it's like, yes, the Spanish right. Just what the little I heard, I'm like, yes. But we'll get into that more. Now, not only do you do music, you've also been on X on the MTV's X on the Beach, most recent season 5 of X on the Beach. Tell us how that experience came out. You came on the show as Jonathan's ex.
Mm-hmm.
Walk us through that, how that whole experience was for you. Going into what was it like coming into the house? Like,
You guys want to know everything, huh? Everything.
yes, we want to know
All the
everything.
tea.
So it was really funny because I was MTV had reached out to me previously to do Are You the One? I don't know if it's the last season or the season prior where they were like they had sexually fluid people. You know, like it was just everybody, men and women dating and stuff. And so I reached out back and I said, I've never dated women. I don't have, sex with women. That's not what I've done. And I definitely don't want to experiment it on a show, on camera and stuff. So, I declined that, and MTV had reached out to me again and called me. I didn't pick it up. It had gone to voicemail. And I don't know if you guys know, like the visual voicemail where you can like read it.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought MTV and I was like, this is them again trying to like do the most with all that. So I let it go. And my roommate actually told me, I brought it up to him. He's like, no, Joelle, you should probably like take the call and see what they want. Maybe it's something different. And I was like, okay. So I called them, they tell me it's for this show and they explain the way that it is. They can't tell you what it is for. They could just kind of tell you, what the storyline is or whatever. And I've seen X on the Beach before because I live for Danny DeCane and Aubrey O'Day. So I saw that even that she was, and so I'm like, oh, okay. So I told them I would think about it. Eventually I'm like, okay, let's inquire more. And yeah, I went through the process of casting, which, they told me that even if I flew out, it wasn't a guarantee that I would be on because of COVID, because of, I guess, how they produce the storyline as it goes, it all depends on what's going on in the house as to when they bring people in. So, so I agreed to go or whatever. And then I went to Spain, we went to Gran Canaria and I was out there quarantined and then, just mentally preparing, in that room, like what's going to happen, when I'm going to come on, who's going to be there. I didn't get any info. They don't give you any information at all, like nothing.
Damn.
So the day before, it was so funny. The day before they call me, I'm in my room. They call me. They're like, hey, we have a photo shoot for you to do tomorrow. They were like, all you need to bring is one extra bathing suit. Like bring a bathing suit on and bring one extra one. So I'm like, okay, I was in my zen. I got ready that day. I was fine. They call me on the phone. Hey, your car's outside. Do you have your luggage? I'm like, my luggage? Like, am I going into the house today? And they're like, yes, you are. And I'm like, and mind you, they're ready for me already. So I went from being like very calm to like having to get all my stuff and like
right.
Went down the beach, down the street to the beach, and now I'm doing all my stuff. So it was just on go mode, And after I did my like intro stuff, went into the house, and it was a crazy time. You're in like a bubble. You're being told what to do, what to eat, when to go to sleep, when to wake up. It's it was an interesting time. And what I can say is that they edited a lot of stuff out. You guys, I would say maybe 10% of what went on with everybody. But it was, it was great. I did only go on because of the person that it was. I did know that prior to going on, you know, and I wouldn't have gone on if it would have been for anybody else because, you know, it could get real ratchet. And even I didn't want the person that I was going to care for to turn on me. And I knew this guy would not turn on me. It doesn't matter. Like, he didn't need the coin for it. Like, he didn't need the exposure for it enough to turn on me. Okay. So I went on because, you know, me and him, his relationship was always great. It was just kind of, it really was unfinished, you know? And so, yeah, I felt like through that experience, regardless of how tumultuous it got, I always had my buddy there. You know what I mean? I always had somebody who I could wake up with and talk to and, you know, bounce ideas off of, you know, like, and we would really have conversations about our relationship and what we thought went wrong and what we thought we should do. You know, it was authentic. That's one of the things that surprised me was that everyone's story was pretty authentic, honestly. And I don't know how other reality shows do it, but this one, it was just taking what everybody was kind of working on and doing and kind of blowing it up. But the root of it was always something real, you know?
Right.
I love that you said that, like, you guys were talking and maybe exploring, like, what you guys did wrong or where you guys go in the future. Because a lot of times, like, you know, especially the prior seasons, I've watched the prior seasons as well, with Ariana as such, you know, it could get messy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could go that route. And then, as we know, sometimes a certain cast member has multiple exes pop up. Yeah. And that makes it even more messier. Yeah, it's that type of Byronique. Is that
oh my goodness! Because I haven't seen it. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so for those who haven't seen it, it's basically like it's like the real world, but then like every week or so they have the exes come in for the people, and you know some people are like are dating people within the house, and then the exes come. Some exes want to get back. Some exes want revenge. Some exes, you know, just want to be on TV. So you know, you have dynamic going on.
So going into it originally, did you know who that ex was going to be? Like, you were going for or no?
Yes.
If you can even say it.
Oh, okay. You did know.
Okay. So you knew.
I don't think they knew. I don't think Jonathan knew. I think Jonathan submitted a few and they picked. But it's still a surprise. It's a surprise when we're coming on. It's a surprise if we're coming on. Because mind you, I could have came on and caught COVID. You know what I mean? And then I could have been in that hotel room, you know, quarantining, and I wouldn't have been able to get on the show, you know. So even if you submitted people, you didn't know if they were going to make it on. You know, your exes, you didn't know if who and when. If I would have caught COVID, they would have had to call somebody else. So it was
right. That's why they make them send like a couple of names, like you got to go down the list. So were you guys there like a whole week having to deal with all these rules, and then did they pay for your flight all the way to the other country? Like, how did that work?
Girl, absolutely. Ain't nobody paid for that.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like,
I can only speak on mine. I really don't know because I do know other people's were different based on conversations. But yeah, they give you a time frame on when you need to be available, and then hopefully people got good notice. You know, I needed notice to leave, and then because I have my little son over there, and they give you a few days notice, and then, they take care of the transportation and the lodging and all that stuff, the food.
Oh, good. And then if you ain't got a passport, you asked out though. Like,
right. I mean, they go through that. But yeah, no, you can't go nowhere.
So right, and you guys were there like a week?
So everybody had a quarantine for a week, minimally. Luckily for me, I got there quarantined, and on the week, the 7th day, I was thrown into the house. But some people quarantined and were put, were in lockdown for I think 2.5 weeks. One person was in a hotel room with nothing. You don't got your phone. You don't have nothing. You have if you're lucky, you got a TV with like Netflix, but it's different countries, so it's just like,
hell no. They strip you of your phone because they don't want you like Snapchatting and whatever Instagram story and where you at and what you do. Oh my goodness!
And they not even at TV. They low-key want you to go crazy. That's what it is too.
I'm saying.
By the time they lock you up in this room because it was just like a hotel room with a bed in it, and you're going crazy. You don't talk to anybody, you don't see anybody, and then they throw you into this highly social environment, and you're like,
Yeah. How do you cope with something like that?
I was gonna say, how was you going into that house? Was you nervous? Was you just ready for it? Was this just something you
ready to get out there?
Personality-wise, you right?
Right.
Honestly, I think that whole thing I said earlier was a blessing that I didn't necessarily know that I was going into the house until we're there and they're like, we're actually doing your intro and you're actually going in today and you're actually, doing this. So I didn't have time to like
Dwell
process
on
it.
it. Yeah.
So it was an interesting experience because you don't know what to expect. You don't know how it works. You don't know, how production is. You don't know any of that stuff. But it was literally like being a guinea pig,
At that point, it's like fight or flight. Seriously, like what you
right. Either you're gonna like do well or you're just gonna cave under pressure. You gotta go.
Right.
Now we seen in one of the episodes, you guys had to go to that cave, that freaking dreadful cave that people have to go to. This cave, Byronique, is basically it has a specific word. Joelle, help me out.
Shack of Secrets.
What is it? The Shack of Secrets, exactly. Yeah, the Shack of Secrets. So these couples basically randomly production, or the gods or whatever, production gods, whatever you want to call it. They call you, basically pick people who are access to go into the Shack of Secrets. And then basically whatever they want to produce, they produce like some shit that pops off. In your case, Joelle, you and Jonathan went to the Shack of Secrets and had to unlock phones. Now Jonathan forgot his password to his phone, Byronique. In that episode. So how was that experience for you guys? Like, and how was that moment for you?
Yeah. We're gonna have to do an interview after the contract is out because
whatever you can't say.
The tea on that actual situation was crazy. How they ended up getting footage together to form some kind of storyline was crazy because it was just what actually happened, which wasn't shown on the show, was crazy. But that situation was crazy. We had no idea that it would be us because we don't know. He got there and then a day after I got there, so it wasn't like he had the scoop that I didn't have. Like he was just as new to the whole process. The rest of the cast members, they were kind of smart. They were there for I think 2.5 months, so there was kind of like a schedule on when these things would happen. So they knew something was gonna go down. We just didn't know who it was for. There was like talks that it was gonna be us because we had just gotten there, but we were like, wait, like we just got here. You know what I mean?
Right.
But anyway, so then we get in there and I was so confused. I thought they were gonna make me sing because they had like a stage and like what looked like mic stands, but then I realized that what they were doing was recreating the narrative that we had said in the beginning, which was that I was at a JoJo concert, which they didn't say it was a JoJo concert, but I was at a concert and I was gonna go to the camera, and then I was scrolling and he saw Grindr on my phone and he's like over here and he didn't say anything, was super passive aggressive the rest of the night. And then that situation pissed me off because my siblings were there and his best friend were there, and I thought this is a really sucky representation of our relationships. The first time everybody's meeting and you're being super
right.
And that kind of broke it off the first time. So the show took that as a story, and then they were like, oh, so there's a discrepancy on if Grindr was on his phone and when it was and what was being said on Grindr. So they're like, great, you guys are going to look through each other's phones now. And so I can't tell you what happened because it was something.
Right.
You get contracts.
Right. You got to be.
It's been on TV too.
How I can say it, but
you don't have to say it.
Anyway, so yeah, we're both like frustrated at that moment. They're telling us what's going on and what we have to do, and we're like, okay, I had just gotten there, so I'm like, I'm not going back home. Like, you know what? I'm not going to go back home. So we're doing this. He thought, oh, Joelle wasn't going to be for this. So he was like, we were just on 2 different pages, and that pressure was what they got on camera. And he genuinely did forget his password because we knew that this was possible. So what we didn't want and we didn't know was if we relinquished our phones to them, if they were going to have some kind of like person figuring out the codes behind the scenes and going on and trying to dig up drama, So what he did was he changed his password right before we gave our phones up. So they're surprised and we're like,
right there.
Yeah, and we're like, oh crap, what did I change my password to? I literally changed it a few days ago, and it was.
Damn, that's so
ultimately made him look really guilty. So the storyline went from like shadily having Grindr to wait, why is this guy forgetting his password?
His password. Oh. Oh, sneaky. That's wild.
Now, we know some of your deal breakers, as you mentioned on X on the Beach, with lying, cheating, bad hygiene. You must find them attractive, but can't be so sexy around you. Now, that confused me a little bit. I don't know if I heard wrong. So, you have to find them attractive, right?
Sensitive.
Oh, sensitive. You see, I knew I heard wrong. Because I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay.
I'm like, can't be so sexy, but you want them to be attractive? No, help me out here.
Yeah, so that's like chopped and
Sensitive.
edited. But yeah, you can't be sensitive. Like, I'm very outspoken. I'm very blunt. I say what's on my mind. I wear my
What's your
emotions.
sign, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a Gemini.
Gemini. Okay.
So if you're very sensitive to like tones and like attitudes,
It ain't gonna work. Yeah.
Has any of those deal breakers have changed for you, or they pretty much stand the same to this?
what did I say again? What were they?
It was lying, cheating, bad hygiene. You must find them attractive, and I guess I heard the last one wrong. I thought it was like can't be too sexy, but can't be too sensitive.
Absolutely, yeah. I stand by what I said.
All right. Well, with that being said, you're single. You mentioned that. So we're gonna play a little game, Joel. Let's say in our fantasy world, any of these men present themselves. What is Joel Bryan gonna do? Is he gonna marry, fuck, or kill?
Okay.
And this is the same game that we played for our good sis Byronique's first ever showing. So look at this pro circus. Are you ready for this, Joel? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So here we go. Here we go. All right. Our first fuck, marry. Okay, and I gotta pop up my notes because some of these white men I do not know.
No.
The first one, John Hamm, Matt Balmer, or Jamie Dorman. Matt,
I can't see the third one.
The third one is Jamie Dorman.
I don't know. Is he white as well?
Yeah.
I don't know any of these men. Sorry to these men. I can't see a third one, but the one in the middle, I would marry. He looks like a good, cute man.
Matt Balmer.
I would probably.
He's part of our family as well.
Family, okay.
LGBTQ.
The one with like the orange burgundy background, he's gotta go.
Okay. I agree.
And I guess
kill him, and I can't see that third man, but I guess we gonna do something.
Next, you have to know these guys: Adam Levine, Jared Leto, or Justin Timberlake.
Okay, I can see them now. I had the chat open. Sorry. Okay, I can see them now. Oh, Adam Levine, I would marry him. Justin Timberlake's looking very pale there.
And that's a good picture because he ain't looking the same nowadays. He's getting older.
Oh.
He would have to go. I hate saying kill because that's a strong word. He would have to go. And then I would probably fuck Jared Leto.
All right, next.
Not all these light skinned men.
Don't worry, I got some flavor for you. Next, marry, fuck, or let go of Chris Pine, Shannon Tatum, or Charlie Hunnam.
Okay, I forgot their names, but I know Channing. I would marry Channing. I would fuck this man with the blue tie. What's his name?
Chris Pine.
Mm-hmm.
Byronique knows. He loves it.
I love my white chocolate.
And then the other one gotta go. Him right there.
All right. Let's throw some fish at you before we throw some flavor at you.
Okay.
All right. Just for shits and giggles.
I'm down for fish. Okay, so this is hold on, I'm gonna say this is Zoe, this is Natalie, and this is Mila, right?
Yes.
Zoe, I would marry, love her.
I love her.
Natalie Portman, I would fuck, and then Mila.
She gotta go.
All right, let's welcome in the flavor. Shamar Moore.
Oh yeah.
Michael Ealy or Michael B. Jordan. Oh, I knew it was gonna get. I saved the best for last. This is gonna get hard for you, Joel.
Michael Ealy, like I would marry him because I could still fuck him, you know. Michael B. Jordan would be a quick, you know. And then,
we gonna let go of Shamar?
Yeah, he gotta go.
Ooh.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone had to go.
You agree too, Byronique?
No, I probably would have let Michael.
Yeah, Byronique,
I never saw the hype.
Can
I
you
never
go
saw
for it
the
with these
hype.
three? Can you let
Go
us know
for it.
which
Go
ones you
for it.
think?
I never honestly saw the hype with Michael early,
Ely?
except his eyes. Ely, except his eyes. Like everybody fucking loved
Oh,
him, and I was like,
look
no,
at that
he got the.
smile. Look at the
He just all right to me. He ain't like get the kitty cat wet. You know what I mean? Like I would have to let him go for sure. And
Okay.
then of course I'm gonna marry Michael B. Jordan because that's my man. And he's single again. Let me tell y'all. Let me get out here. And then
All right, Charlie, you're up.
Shamar, I fuck him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotta do it. I'm the host. No, I'm just playing.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, it's hard. It's hard. Can I have an orgy? I like. Not just like. Ooh, Shamar Moore. I think I will. I think I'm gonna go with you. This is hard. This is hard because I've had a Shamar Moore. I will marry. Michael B. Jordan. I will fuck, and Michael Ealy. No,
yeah,
Michael.
he got to
This is
go.
hard.
He got to go.
No, Michael Ealy. I will keep. Nah, I'll fuck Michael Ealy. Michael B. Jordan. He has to go.
You gonna let Michael B go?
Yeah, he's got to go.
Well,
He's
send him
younger
right on over
and
here to
maybe
me.
more of a fuck boy than the other two. There you go. That's my reasoning. Your last one, Joelle.
Okay.
Let's go Latino, baby. We gotta go for our people too. J Balvin, Ozuna, or Bad Bunny.
Okay, I can't.
Barry, fuck.
I'm not even speaking on the one in the middle. He's out.
Oh, Ozuna.
Bad Bunny. I would probably marry Bad Bunny, and then J Balvin looks like a good time.
All right. What about you, Byronique?
I would marry Bad Bunny. The pale one, he got to go though for me. So I'm gonna fuck the one in the middle. Yeah.
Girl, you ain't gonna make it out alive.
You're gonna be alive.
Murderer.
Just a quick boo boo boo. All right.
Oh, are you saying that because of what happened? Okay, that's another another show we can come on. And
okay.
we can get deeper. But you may hate that I'm gonna choose this. But I will marry Bad Bunny, of course.
Well, we all agree on that.
I just feel I have more of a freaky good time with Ozuna because he's a Pisces as well, and I'm a Pisces, and I know what Pisces could give.
Ooh.
So I like J Balvin too, but yeah, I may have to let him go for this and go with what I may think I know. I think I'll have a good time with Ozuna, and then he could go. But that's interesting. You know that story, Joelle. That's definitely another topic for another day. So I'm assuming you don't agree. You're not a big fan
of that man.
Yeah, and yeah.
No.
I'll let you know, Byronique, of that.
You got to send me the tweet.
Happened like this happened like what 2 years ago, Joelle? This story in Puerto Rico, something like that. Yeah. But anyways, let's get back to the man. Let's get back to Joelle. Listen, he's a singer. He's been on FTV, but you do a lot. You also have a clothing line with partnership with Odyssey Fit. Tell us a little bit about that and seeing some images right now.
Oh,
love this.
Yeah. So when I started, figuring out what I wanted to do for the music video and the single cover for my first song, I wanted to be really strategic. I wanted to be really intentional. And I was like, well, what am I going to wear? And I was like, I should probably support some of my friends and, try and promote their brands and stuff, which I did a lot on X on the Beach, which was amazing for them to be able to see their clothes on TV. Come on, like that was amazing.
Right.
But so with this specifically, I asked them, I was like, hey, like, can maybe we do something where we collab and, I'll take kind of your brand, but put my own spin on it. And so it was my really, really good friend, Daniel Gonzalez, aka Danny Bananas on Instagram. He has a clothing brand called Odyssey Fit. It's kind of like a sportsy, tight, brand. This is his brand as well. He does like a lot of like gym attire and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, and he was like, yeah, do whatever you want. He kind of does he puts like motivational words and stuff on his stuff. So I picked the word sacrifice because I just really vibe with that. And I feel like anything that you ever want to do, it takes some sacrifice in some kind of way, whether it's of your time or, and stuff. So, I picked sacrifice, picked a really cute color, and we made a hoodie. I didn't want to be like the cliche gay boys, like be like, shirtless or like try and be sexy. I was in a freaking hoodie on my single cover. But yeah, we released it. It did fairly well. There's limited quantity, and so he allowed me to do it again. So um, unfortunately, I wasn't able to wear that stuff on X on the Beach, but we're still going to release it. And the second kind of collection is coming out soon. So it's like a sleeveless shirt. It's a little bit tighter. It's a little bit looser, free fitting. And I absolutely love him and love him for allowing me to do that, giving me free range to do it. And, I was able to get into clothing too, so.
And where could we, like, if people want to find out more, shop, buy, where could we look it up? Where can we go?
Yeah, if you go to my Instagram, the link in my bio has all of my stuff. If you just look up Odyssey Fit, you'll see it there as one of the tabs. But yeah, you can go on odysseyfit.com. Make sure to support.
They also have an Instagram.
Yeah, it's really comfortable. I would never support or attach myself to something that I didn't like. I own a lot of his pieces, so yeah, you can go to odysseyfit.com, shop. There's a new collection coming out soon that it will include a piece from me. And it'll be from one of my music videos, as well as I wore it on X on the Beach. They just made me turn it inside out because of the word.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, stay tuned for that.
I love this one. Love this one.
Yes, I have to.
That's really nice.
You got to send me your address, and I'll send you one because I have some overstock, and I can send you some.
For real, bro? Oh,
yeah, you and Byronique.
This one, this hoodie?
This hoodie, yeah.
Ah, look at that. You made my day.
It'll be oversized, but that's kind of in.
Hey, listen.
Right,
Exactly.
that's
Look at Justin Bieber. Really, the oversized thing is it. Now, you also have a YouTube channel yourself.
Yeah.
Like, talk to us about that and what does that entail? What's the style of that? Let the people know.
So it just has all my music videos on there as well as my songs. Like I want them to be on all platforms. And distributing your music, sometimes not everything ends up on every platform. So, obviously my visuals are on YouTube for that reason. But I also have some songs that people could just put a playlist on and hear all of my songs and tracks. So it's just all of the stuff I'm working on. I do a podcast called 3Gen LA, and we have a YouTube as well. And that's just 3 men of color from different generations. Talking about topics within the community that we have differences on, because we're all activists and we all support the community, but everybody does it in different ways. So, so yeah, we just bounce ideas and thoughts and opinions, and we also upload that content. So,
oh, I love that. I gotta check that out too. I see the posts and I see the clips you put on, but I love the whole 3 different men, 3 different generations. That's definitely,
and it's legit that way. Like, and a lot of the times we have. It's crazy how within the community there are very opposing opinions on a lot of things.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Our last one was about trans, and some of the things that people were saying, I was like, not you. But they feel that way because they're from a different time. You know what I mean? So
I would love to have you guys on. I would love to have you guys on this show and
we'd be down.
Tackle some topics and stuff. I would love to do that. Now you have your YouTube channel that we was talking about Spanish music that got me so freaking excited earlier when I heard that snippet. Listen, I love, like you, Joelle. Like, I grew up with a mom and dad that played all types of music. You know what I mean? So I fell in love with all types of music. I love all types of music growing up. Although I got made fun of for liking certain types of music, being a colored, boy. But Spanish. You've done English. You're thinking of the Spanish. Tell us a little bit about that if you can, and your influences with that, and what is bringing you to release your first Spanish song to the world.
Well, like I said, I want to make every era, every single about something different. I want to try something new. I want to experiment. And so I've actually started now to produce my own music. So before, everything else that I did was always engineered and recorded by somebody else. Now I'm learning the programs that you record music in. I'm getting my own setup and stuff like that. So I have more free range to experiment and do different things. So one of my really good friends and really talented producers, Jason Grillo, who lives in Nashville, sent me a few tracks. And so I've been, experimenting with them. And then the last song you heard was a song that I'm working on right now, and it has a Spanish hook on it. So, and then it's reggaeton. So,
Thanks. That's why I got excited.
Charlie ready to fuck it up.
Yo, I'm ready to perreo.
Yeah. So it's I'm trying to understand how they their flow.
Yeah.
And kind of like the the words that they're using, it's not always translating it from English to Spanish. It's, they use a specific kind of flow and stuff. So yeah, it'll come out soon. It'll see the daylight soon.
Would it be this year maybe?
Well, I don't
Give me
know.
something to be throwing it back at the holiday party.
I'm really honestly writing. Me and him partnered up to try and write for film and TV. So I made it for that purpose. But it depends. I don't know. It might come out. It might not. Honestly, I don't know. But I'll let you hear it. When I finish the demo, I'll let you hear it. That way you have it.
I'm excited. You're so special today. You're like but so what's next? What could the people expect next from you? You've done TV, you're releasing music, you're like doing what a lot of people dream of, and some people don't bring themselves to do. Like you're doing it, and kudos to you. Let the audience give him his claps. Kudos to you, dude. Like I love, even with Byronique as well. Like I love seeing people just go for their shit and just put themselves out there. And so, what's next for you? What could people expect? And also, where could people find you too? Like follow you and listen to your stuff. Sell yourself to the people.
My pitch moment.
Right.
Well, you can find me on most streaming platforms as Joelle or Joel Bryan. All the links are in my bio on Instagram. So if you go to _Joel_Bryan and go to my link tree, all of my links are on there for all of my stuff, my YouTube, my Odyssey Fit line, anything that I do, you can find on there. But what's coming up next? The new piece with Odyssey Fit is coming out. If you guys would support that, that'd be great. That's 100% profit for me. You know what I mean? If you guys can stream my music, more music is always going to be coming out for the rest of my life. I mean, I've been gifted with knowing how to do something of quality and that I love to do. So regardless of what else I'm doing, I'm always going to be releasing music. So look out for that.
It's quality. It's
quality.
Not like some song bop stuff. Like quality.
No, them. Everybody does what they can do. You know what I mean?
So, no, that's like I said earlier. Everyone does, but you're putting your time and you're putting your jeunesse wine. Flowers. Give you your flowers. All right, make sure y'all follow Joelle. Listen to his music. His latest single "Up" is out right now. Spotify, Apple, all the streaming services. Check it out. Byronique, my girl, she has different shows we love. We post when she has her shows. We post her shows. What show can we expect from you next? Do you have a show coming up next?
Well, I mean, the main show is my birthday next week.
I know, Virgos celebrate all month.
All month, baby. But I do have 2 shows after my birthday. The last week of September. It'll no longer be Virgo season because my birthday is the last day to be a Virgo. But you're right. Some people say I got Libra tendencies sometimes. You feel me? But I'm on Virgo, baby. But I do have 2 shows at the end of this month. Definitely follow my Instagram because I always post the flyers and I repost. I appreciate you sharing on the Inner Circle. Thank you so much. I always reshare. I post that shit 10 times if I have to try to get people to see. So follow me at The First Barbie, THE, the number 1 ST Barbie, please. And you will see everything you need to see from me.
Awesome. Please support. I love just bringing people on and connecting with people who are just doing their thing. Because honestly, there's people like you to inspire me and motivate me and push me. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you're following them on their socials, supporting their music. It does not cost to stream, but you could also support your boy and hit that 129 on Apple and just buy his 129. That's like
right.
a Snickers. All right. So instead of streaming, you could just buy that 129, sometimes 99 cents. Whatever. It does not hurt. That's your Snickers, and you also then gain the calories. Okay. As for us, as for the Inner Circle podcast, you can follow us on all streaming services. YouTube, a little subscribe goes a long way. That doesn't cost anything. We are also streaming on all platforms the very next day: Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Google Podcasts. Make sure to check it out. We thank you guys so much. Joelle, thank you so much for taking the chance on the Inner Circle podcast. Welcome to the fam. You're part of the fam now. Hopefully you come back. Byronique, we love you so much. Thank you so much for being my lovely co-host today.
No problem.
And you definitely will be back because my other co-host is mad at me that I always have you on when she's not on.
Right.
So we have to
we
have
gotta all get on together.
Yeah, we have to have a throuple, and I'll be the middle.
Right.
The white
No,
filling
it's
in the
gonna
orange.
be 4. It's gonna be 4.
Oh, 4. Oh, we can do it. Yeah, there we go. I like that too. I like foursomes. But thank you so much, Joelle, for joining us. It really means the world. Byronique, thank you so much. Make sure you support them, follow them, shout them out. We love them. Thank you guys. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. We have special guests, Spencer and Ronell, and Melanie's back. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much. We're out.
Thank y'all.